Our next one is to make a quarter. And now, let's say we've left and came back and we need to get our file back again. So I'm going to go up to my menu, and I'm going to open, and it asks me to choose a file to open. And depending if you saved it on my computer or in my projects, you'll have to know where you saved it to get back to it. But I saved mine on my computer, so I'm going to click on Browse, and I'm going to choose my last choice that I did, and it was called Half Bly, and it's the one that says 123DX. The one that says Half Bly STL, that's the special one for the printer. So I'm going to choose Half Bly, and I'm going to choose Open, and when I do, I should get my file back. Now, just because I saved it with the name Half doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to see halves. If I didn't do it right, but I gave it the name Half, it still might need to be fixed. So double check that you've got 2 pieces before you get started. And if you don't have the half, go back to lesson 2 for the half, make your half, and then come back again. Okay. Once you're in the right place, I'm going to take my 2 halves and cut them in half one more time. If you take a half and cut it in half, it will make 2 quarters, so that there'll be 4 pieces instead of 2, making up the whole. So to do this, it's exactly the same thing we did before. We just have a few more pieces. So we're going to go back up to the sketch tool and go to the polyline. When you come out on the screen, it'll say click to select sketch. Now we want to draw on these circles that we made. So I'm going to click with my mouse on the blue half, but to do my first point, I need to go off the screen because we want to make sure that we're cutting all the way across. We don't want to miss anything. So to do my half, I'm going to go to the first point, which is going to be halfway down. And if you look carefully, it says 100 up here and 50, and this one is 0. So half of 100 is 50. So we want to go right across on the 50 line. That's why I said if you're careful when you do it and get it in the right place, it'll be easier. That's when we did the whole. So I'm going to click on my first point, which is off here to the left on the 50 line. I'm going to go all the way across, and I just need to be sure that I'm all the way across. It doesn't matter exactly how long it is. But this time we need to make sure that it's exactly 90 degrees. 90 degrees is going to be allowing us to make this part here be a perfect right angle, 90 degrees, and that's going to make our quarters. If you don't get it right the first time, remember you can always hit undo. I'm going to click the green check because I'm done, and I now have a line going across my 2 halves. And when I do the cutting, I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces, or 4 quarters. Each one will be 1 quarter. To make the actual cut, we're going to go to our Modify menu, down and over, and I want to go to Split Solid because we want to take those 2 solid pieces and cut them. Split my solid, Body to Split. Now the body to split is actually 2 pieces because we want to do this one and the one on the right. So I'm going to click on both the left and the right half. Then the next step is to go to the splitting entity. And remember, entity is just a really fancy word for thing. And our splitting thing is this line. Once I click on it, I hit the Enter key to finish up. And once I've hit the Enter key, I can delete my line. To delete the line, you can just click on it, hit the delete key on your keyboard, and it looks like the line's still there because remember, this is the line showing the separate pieces. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters, and I can double check myself by clicking on one of the lower quarters, go to my move, and I'm going to use my arrow to make it come down 5 millimeters. I can go further if I want to, but 5 is going to be easier to print it out. When I hit the Enter key, I now have 1, 2 quarters, and I still have a half over here. But if I click on that bottom quarter, and I pull it down 5. I've now separated it into 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters. Together they make a whole, or 2 pieces are going to make the half. I can double check how it looks by clicking on the house, and I can see that I have 4 pieces that are quarters, and that's going to be letting us teach how to do whole, half, and quarter. Now you should be getting good at this. We're going to go up to our menu. We're going to choose Save a Copy to my computer, and this was half, but we've now made it quarters. So I'm going to call this quarter and my name. So now it's saved and I can get back to it. But what I want to do next is save it as a printer file, and that's under Menu. Go to Export as 3D, STL, and again, notice that Combine Objects is there because now we have 4 objects. So make sure you click Combine Objects, click on OK, give it your name again so we can print it out, and we're going to call it quarter and your name. And now you'll be able to get back to it the next time if you want to try cutting it further, but we can also print it out. The last one we're going to do in lesson 4 is going to be thirds, and that's a little trickier. So if you had trouble with quarters, you might want to wait and try the thirds another time.